Hi everyone, how are you going? I'll just wait a couple of moments for some people to hop on. Today has been a really good day. I actually went to an RPM or spin class for the first time since my back injury. So that was all very good and I really enjoyed that. So if you guys haven't been following me for a while, I've had a little back injury and that has been holding me back a little bit in the exercise side of things. And for me, exercise is my stress reliever, so it's just been a little bit frustrating. So that was really good. Otherwise, I'm happy, and we've had such an amazing day. Hi, whoever's out there. Oh, hi, Miz. How you going? Yay! Let's wave at Miz. So yeah, just waiting for a couple more people to hop on, and I'd love to know what you guys have been up to the last couple of weeks. How you feeling? How you doing? So give me some hearts and thumbs up just to say hello if you're out there. And oh yeah, great. Well done, Miz. Yeah, so I wanted to hop on today to talk about my experience having a unplanned actual digital detox. So we went on holiday over Easter and to this beautiful little fishing village called Malakuta, which is in the southern tip of Victoria before you cross into New South Wales, for those who are interested in geography. And it is just such a beautiful little spot. It has beautiful beaches, it has a beautiful lake, or I don't know even if it's a lake, if it's maybe it could be termed something else, but anyway, and the lake actually feeds into the ocean, so it might be called an estuary. I don't know these kind of terms, Wayne will know. And basically it had only, I think there were 2 shops, 1 bottle store, a pub, 2 cafes, 1 noodle bar, and a bakery and a surf shop, and that was it. That's how small this little town was, and then bucket loads of caravan parks. And it was just a fantastic little holiday venture, and we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. So I took my laptop with me, I took my microphone with me, because I thought it would be cool to do a couple of live videos. Some of my yoga students have, when I said I'm not going to be there for 2 weeks, they've asked for a couple of videos. So I thought, it would just be so beautiful doing a couple of yoga videos, doing a couple of Facebook Lives out in nature, where I just love being anyway. And to my surprise, no network whatsoever, probably for a half an hour from before we even arrived in the town. There was absolutely no network, so no phone calls, no data, no internet, no Wi-Fi's in the little cafes, nothing. So my first couple of thoughts was, okay, well, I wanted to do a couple of things. I thought I could smash out a couple of things for my business, and then I thought, well, you know what, I'm just going to roll with this and it's going to be amazing. So, and I suppose if I had a different attitude, oh, Marianne says she thought something has happened to me. Okay, no, nothing's happened to me. Yeah, so, oh, Marianne, yeah, because people couldn't get hold of us at all. So that's where, like, I've had a couple of friends reach out and go, where are you? We can't, my messages are not going through, what's going on? Yeah, so when I got back, I had to reply to a couple of worried people and let them know that everything was fine, we're all good, and we just didn't have any network. So yeah, that's how it was. And it's actually interesting how if we're so used to being in touch with each other and in touch with seeing each other online or in messages. And so if we don't hear from one another for a couple of days, it's even worse than in the old days when there was no digital world, and maybe you heard from someone once a month via telephone if you're lucky. So yeah, it was quite an experience. So, and it opened my eyes quite a bit as well, just realizing every now and then I would be on the beach walking, for example, and then I'd realize, oh, I'd probably want to be on my phone right now usually, or I'd usually be doing something at work right now. And it was just so nice to be without my phone, because I actually even left my phone. I didn't even take that many photos because I just left my phone in the drawer, and it was fantastic. So highly recommended. If you could do that, find a little isolated spot in nature, like go into the woods or do whatever. Find a nice beach area where there is absolutely no network, and just go and lose yourself. And yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic. So a couple of things I realized after a couple of days of no technology. The first one was the first two or 3 days I kept looking for my phone. I would be like, oh, this would be such a good spot to take a photo, or this would be such a good spot to take a selfie with my niece, or oh no, my niece was doing something cute, I don't have my camera here, oh no, those kind of things. So realized that definitely very much attached to my fifth limb actually, which is this digital device that I'm talking into now. And quite funny actually. It's just amazing how we've actually become so attached to a mobile phone. It does everything for us. It's amazing, isn't it? So no wonder that it's there. And no wonder we feel lost without it, because it wakes us up in the morning. It tells us when to do things. It tells us when to go to meetings. I put all my reminders in my calendar. I put my to-do list in my calendar. I make notes in my phone. I'm in contact with a lot of people over with my phone. I do all my social media posts on my phone. Sometimes I write my blogs on my phone. So everything is attached to this one little piece of equipment. So if it ever got lost, I think I would be battling a lot. So very interesting to notice how we actually deal with that loss of not having that piece of equipment. And that's basically what it is. It is a tool, and it's become so useful that it's just so difficult to put it away. So that was one of the first things I noticed. And then it got me thinking about how society is and how society uses technology and everything else. And even just, I take the train to work and I just watch everyone on the train most mornings. And the first thing they do is they plug in their headsets and they watch either a series or they scroll through social media, most of them. So usually in the morning what I try and do is I put on a meditation, and then I try not to look at my phone or messages until I've eaten my breakfast and done my meditation. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but yeah, so society is already ingrained like that. And the thing is, our children, our next generation, is ingrained in that. They see that every day. So for them, that's normal. And I actually did a little quick research about just being online and social media use. And the average person spends 9.4 hours a day in front of a screen. And office workers spend about 11 and a half hours in front of a screen. So that's obviously including the fact that you have to work on a computer, and you have to, most office workers today. Very rarely do you have an office worker who doesn't sit permanently at a desk. Super crazy. So that means if you're spending even just 9.5 hours in front of a screen, that is 174 days in a year that you are sitting in front of a screen. So that is scary if we think about it. And it's actually quite interesting how the screens are, they're enticing. Humans are, we're curious in nature, and we like to copy and know what's going on. We like to see what someone else is doing so that we can do it better, or just so we know how to do it. And that's why the internet is a massive hit, because everyone can Google how to, and there's a whole bunch of things coming up. Even the most common one, I think, is how to boil eggs. If I remember correctly, that was a couple of years ago. I haven't done just the how-to and see what comes up. But there is a how-to for everything, and then there's millions of other stories or blog posts or news articles on how to do everything. And people want to know how things are done by others so that it makes life easier for them. The problem is we get trapped into that mentality of looking what other people are doing. And when we are in that mentality of looking outwards, we lose that connection with our inwards and who we are. We start, research has shown that people who spend a lot of time like in front of a screen, their moods get affected, and a lot of times it increases feelings of loneliness for some reason, and self-worth is affected in a massive way, because we are continuously seen. The media is now so much more in our faces, and the media is there to show us what we're lacking. They're trained to harp on our pain points, and social media and Google and analytical software is so good at picking up what we search for, what we look for on a daily basis, and it's looking at our how to boil an egg searches, and then all of a sudden you have this advertising on every single platform on the things that you were searching for. And most times those are things that we are really desperately wanting to help in our lives, like how to lose weight, for example, how to curb emotional eating, how to get more energy. All those kind of things is what we see, and those are our pain points, and the digital media has taken that, and they are so easy to now say, well, yes, that's exactly your social profile, that's exactly your wants and needs, and they keep telling us that we don't have what we have, and that's why we are not happy. And hi, Michelle. And it's true, the more we come from a place of lack, the more we feel like we're not happy. The more we compare ourselves to others, the more we feel like we're not worthy. So these are just things that you need to ponder on and think about for yourself. I'm not here to preach about it, but this is the kind of things that I started thinking about on my digital detox. And so definitely I almost felt like about 3 days into my trip, after I've gotten used to not having my phone, I definitely felt like my mood was in a springier step. I kind of felt like I was in my own space. I was connecting more to myself and nature and my family, and it was just fantastic how that happened. And it just pretty much three days is what it took, and I definitely felt that increase in my mood. I felt an increase in my energy because there was no digital anything. So there was a TV, but we chatted at night. There was a nice fireplace. We watched telly once or twice at night, but it didn't have any you know, digital TV. What's that? You know, my little niece kept asking, well, can we pause this? Can we record it? And we're like, no, this is real-time TV. If it's gone, it's gone. So, and the stuff they have on there is pretty much news and really old movies, like the one night we watched Gremlins. So that was the only TV I actually watched, was the Gremlins. And half of it. But, so we went to bed earlier, just getting up, feeling refreshed, feeling like your mind is clear. You're not all of a sudden overwhelmed with thinking, oh, well, let me go see what so-and-so is doing. Let me go and see what that person's doing. Have you seen what that person's doing? It just becomes our normal part of life. So I definitely felt like I had almost like a lift of fog that lifted from my brain, and just my shoulders almost. So yeah, pretty awesome experience. And yeah, so definitely more energy. My sleep was so much better. I usually sleep with an eye mask on, and I still don't get deep sleep. I was out like a light every night. So and that's because of the reduced glare of the blue lights. If you watched my video a couple of weeks ago on getting more sleep, we were talking about the blue light emissions on digital screens. And yeah, so definitely sleeping was so much better, and obviously I just felt so much more lighter and brighter. The other thing was I was able to be more mindful. So I was able to pick up, oh, why am I missing my phone? And all these pondering things, I was able to think clearly, and I was able to meditate so much easier. It was just so much easier to just drop into meditation, which sometimes takes forever to sit still and think, and oh, I quickly have to message this person. Yeah, so meditation became a breeze, but I was also just able to tune into my body, my own feelings, my thoughts, and also just noticing like little biological things which are really important to me, and things that I teach my clients, which is really paying attention to your emotions and how that affects your reactions to life, and being able to notice when I would usually react, and where I didn't. I actually was able to sit back and say, okay, this is happening, and then moving on, or picking whether I do react or respond or not. So that's fantastic. Another thing is I was definitely able to pick up, like, the minute I started getting my cravings, the minute I was hungry, the minute I was full. And these are amazing cues if you want to follow an intuitive eating philosophy, which is where we all should be. We should all be listening to our own bodies, our own intuition. This body is a machine, and it will tell you exactly when you're full, what you need from a food perspective, if only we listen. But we don't. We listen to what Google has told us what to eat. We listen to what the latest Kyla Science video has shown us how to exercise. We listen to the latest fitness magazine and how many smoothies we have to drink, or how much fresh air diets we have to be on, or the kale and chewing gum diets. And our bodies are really, really intelligent. Like, they heal themselves, and you can see that just from just scratching yourself. You will see how your body actually heals itself. In a couple of days, that scratch is gone. You didn't have to do anything to it. Maybe you help it along a little bit and put a little bit, clear it off with disinfectant. But most of the time, sometimes you're out and you don't have disinfectant with you, and the body still heals itself, and the same thing happens internally. So that's where meditation and mindfulness plays a massive part. And when we're distracted by technology and just the media and social media, we are told that we're not good enough. We're told we don't look a certain way. and then we get guidance by people who look the way we think we need to look on how to eat and what to drink and how to exercise. And these are the things that are not true, because their body is not our body, their life is not our life. So it's not necessarily going to work for us, and especially not in a long time. You need to figure out what works for you. And that's what I work with a lot with my clients, is figuring out how their body interacts with them, and how to tune in to those little subtleties, and actually letting your body guide you on how to heal and how to eat and live. So yeah, amazing detox experience. And so I thought I would, you know me, I'm always here to give you my experience, but also give you a couple of tips on how to do a digital detox, if that is something that you would choose to do. And so I've thought, I've put a couple of questions together that I'll just read out. And this is just to pretty much gauge where you are, from whether you need a breakup with technology. I should have called this one my latest breakup, and then revealed that it was with technology. I think I'll do that next time. Anyway, so here are some questions that you could answer to see whether you need a break from technology. Number 1, when I use my smartphone, laptop or tablets, I spend more time than I intend on it. I get lost in the networking, and I end up scrolling on Facebook and everything else. That's definitely me most of the time anyway. Number 2, I would rather spend time online than doing anything around the house. Definitely sometimes. Hi, Yolandi. Definitely, especially when it comes to housework. I would definitely want to spend more time online than cleaning the house. How often do you check your social media? So that's a good question as well. So often we are on our phones and we go and check our social media. So I know certain apps actually tell you how long you've spent. Facebook definitely can tell you how long, and there's an activity log that you can look, and it's broken down by day or by activity that you've done. So if you want to, you can go and look at just your Facebook profile, or maybe Instagram has the same, I'm not sure. Just go and look on those specific applications how long you're spending on social media. Number 4, I'm anxious when I have no phone. So that's what I was talking about earlier, when the first couple of days of my holiday, I even needed my phone just to take photos, and it felt like it was a lost limb. So there's definitely that separation anxiety from having a cell phone around. So just notice within yourself how you feel when you've left your phone at home for the day, which I've done a couple of times, left to go to work and I didn't have my mobile with me. And number 5 is I stay up later than I intend to, because I'm engaged with social media. So that one's also a good one, because remember, we want to get good sleep, and often we're distracted by videos and things at nighttime. So those are some questions that you can ask yourself whether you need a digital detox. And then I've just put together 3 little things that you can do. Yolandi says, me too. Yes. We all do it. And especially as female entrepreneurs out there, people who are trying to start their businesses, we even more culprits of being on our phones a lot. As I said, I use my phone for everything. I run my business completely on my phone. It's only on weekends where I'll sit and I'll log onto my laptop and work on that. So I actually spend more time than most people on my mobile. And so here's some tips on how to approach if you want to go on a digital detox. Number one is go and, as I said earlier, go and find a little isolated spot where there is no network, or leave your phone in the car for the week, wherever you are, and just spend a week in nature, in the woods, or in a little beach village, fishing village. Hop on a ship. But those are the extreme cases, and we don't always get that. So what we can do is make a little bit more time in our day where we're not on devices. So here's the way that you can do that, and this is pretty easy. So number one is break your day up in 8-hour intervals. So we have 8 hours for sleep, we have 8 hours for work. So those are the hours that we have, pretty much we need to sleep. We know how important sleep is for us, and we need to work. So those are the times that, so sleeping time, we not on our on any social media, which is great, and then 8 hours we are working, so most of that will be screen time anyway. And then we have 8 additional hours, and those hours are your personal time. And so first of all, take your those 8 hourly blocks and then see how your life fits into them. And just an average, it doesn't have to be precise, but then break down over your last 8 hours. How many of those hours are you spending using a screen? So for me, that's actually, it's quite scary. I was working it out this afternoon, and I probably only have 4 hours in a day where I'm not using a screen. So I've got my 8 hours of sleeping, and then 4 hours out of 8 of my free time that I'm not using a screen. And that was actually scary for me to realize, and something I need to personally work on. So once you know your ratios out of the 3, don't worry too much about the sleep time and the work time, because we can't really do much about that. You can take little breaks during the day to get away from your screen, but those obviously can't be that long. And obviously I took an hour lunch your hour's lunch will fall into your free time. So make sure that your lunch time is not screen time at work. So that's quite a nice one. You can save that. Go out for a walk, eat your lunch outside. Will help you be more mindful when you're eating as well. So yeah, and then it's up to you. It's not for me to say how much time of your free time you want to spend on a digital device. You know, like, that's for you to decide. But then just see how much of your free time, your free 8 hours you're spending online, and then look at how much time you actually want as your me time. How much time you want to devote to yourself, in self-development, in just spending time in nature, or taking a bath, or whatever makes you happy. Like, those are just some of the things that make me happy. It doesn't mean that's for you. Maybe it's taking up a specific sport, or, you know, like anything that you want to do. And I'm not saying that you're going to spend 8 hours a day just doing that one thing, but decide how much of your free time, this is your spare time, and you're giving that away to Facebook scrolling. I mean, yeah? Is that, like, we sit at work all day wishing we have free time, but here we are in our free time back on a screen scrolling. It makes no sense. So just, like, that's just food for thought. If that makes you happy, then go for it. I'm not preaching, but, like, for me, that's not how I want to be spending my free time. So definitely decide how long you want to spend in your free time without a screen. And then you can start scheduling in, or just switching off your phone, or switching off the telly, put in some rules, and all the rest that can help you do all those things. And the third thing that will help you with this is make yourself a bliss list. So this is something I get my clients to do as well, is to find things that really make you happy, and put that on your list. And it could be big things, it could be small things. Put that all on your list. And these are the things that you will fill your free time with in the evenings or during your lunchtime. And this could be if you enjoy a sport for the love of it, not because the latest Hannah Eden is doing that sport and you want to look the way she looks. She looks fantastic, by the way, but you know, like, it's because she exercises probably 8 hours a day. So, you know, she's an athlete. But find an exercise, find something that makes you truly happy, and start slotting that into your free time. And when we start doing that, we start feeling fulfilled, and we start coming from a less of a place of lack and more from a place of, yes, I've achieved stuff. Yes, I'm grateful. Yes, I can meditate, or I'm mindful. I can connect to myself. And that's where we ultimately want to be. And one of the reasons we're not there is, as I said, because we keep comparing. We're never happy. We're never in the present moment. We're never enjoying life. We never right here. We're always either thinking about the past or worrying about the future. And that's what mindfulness and presence helps us do, is just sit in this moment and enjoy it. And technology takes us away from that. And the pure joy sits in the present. So, and that's what I also experienced on my holiday. And usually on my holidays I do, because I spend a lot of time outdoors. I spend a lot of time playing in the waves, going diving, all those kind of things. And that's where I truly feel connected. And I come back and I just feel so refreshed, and I just feel amazing. Hi, Tiffany. And that's what I'm after most of the time. And usually that doesn't last. You come back from your holiday and probably 2-3 hours you've lost that, or the next day you're back at work and you've lost that feeling. But if you can take your free 8 hours in a day and you slot in the things that truly make you happy, and the things that can really help you connect to yourself, then I just think people will have a lot less thing to Google about. And Google, a lot of people in Google will lose or like in the media, will lose their jobs. Sorry for you guys. I know you guys make a lot of money. I'm not trying to offend anyone. But I think if people just truly looked within themselves and what made them happy, we wouldn't be where we are today, like always unhappy, always in these moments. So digital detox, definitely 2 thumbs up for me. I'm definitely going to be looking at ways that I can, especially on weekends, put my phone on airplane mode or something and spend more time outdoors and the things that I love doing. So that's my 2 cents for today. Thank you everyone for joining in. If you're watching this at the end or watching this tomorrow, just hashtag replay so that I can know you're watching. And I'd love to know if you have any experience with digital detox. Put some comments below. And I will see you soon. Have a good evening, guys. Bye.